Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. The 1999 Delaware Washington quarter is more than just pocket change. It's a fascinating piece of numismatic history that holds great value for collectors. With its unique design, historical significance, and rare varieties, this coin has captured the attention of the coin collecting community. But did you know that some of these quarters have sold for astonishing amounts of money? In this video, we will explore the incredible story behind the Delaware quarter, uncovering its design, minting details, errors, and of course, the shocking price one of these coins achieved at auction. The year 1999 marked the beginning of one of the most ambitious numismatic programs in U.S. history, the 50-State Quarters Program. This initiative, launched by the United States Mint, was designed to celebrate each of the 50 states with unique reverse designs on the Washington quarter. Delaware, the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution, was chosen to kick off this exciting series. The Delaware quarter was released on January 4, 1999, marking the beginning of a coin-collecting craze that swept across the nation. The obverse, or front, of the 1999 Delaware quarter remains true to the classic Washington quarter design. It features the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This image had been a staple of the Washington quarter since 1932. Above Washington's head, the words, "United States of America," are inscribed, while the denomination, $quarter, appears below. To the left, the national motto, "In God We Trust," is prominently displayed, and to the right, the word "Liberty" is struck boldly. The reverse, however, is what makes this coin stand out. The Delaware quarter features a dynamic and historical design depicting Caesar Rodney, one of Delaware's most celebrated patriots. Rodney was a delegate to the Continental Congress and played a crucial role in the decision for American independence. The image on the coin captures him on horseback, symbolizing his legendary midnight ride from Delaware to Philadelphia in 1776 to cast the decisive vote for independence. Above the image, the name Delaware is inscribed, along with the year 1787, which signifies the year Delaware became the first state in the Union. Below the horse and rider, the words, "Caesar Rodney," appear, honoring this revolutionary figure. The phrase, "the first state," is proudly displayed, reinforcing Delaware's historic role in American history. Millions of Delaware quarters were minted across 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the circulation strikes, while the San Francisco Mint struck proof versions in both clad and silver compositions. Despite the high mintage numbers, certain varieties and minting errors make some of these coins incredibly valuable. One of the most famous and valuable errors found on the 1999 Delaware quarter is the "spitting horse" variety. This error occurs when a die crack appears near Caesar Rodney's horse's mouth, creating the illusion of the horse spitting. This variety has become highly sought after by collectors, with well-preserved examples fetching significant premiums. Another rare and valuable variety is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank is misaligned in the press, causing the design to be struck off-center. The more dramatic the misalignment, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Additionally, double die errors, where design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process, can significantly increase a coin's value. These errors are particularly appealing to collectors, as they add a layer of uniqueness to each coin. Beyond errors, the overall condition of the coin is a major factor in determining its worth. Most quarters from 1999 have been in circulation for decades, accumulating wear and damage. However, coins that have been well preserved in high mint state grades, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can command impressive prices at auction. For collectors, the excitement of searching for rare varieties and high-grade examples keeps the hobby alive. The thrill of discovering a valuable Delaware quarter in a coin roll, an old collection, or even loose change is what makes numismatics so captivating. And when a truly exceptional specimen of the 1999 Delaware Washington quarter appears on the market, it can reach staggering values. In one remarkable auction, a flawless example of this coin, featuring a rare and desirable error, sold for an unbelievable $50,000. Top 2. The 2022 Maya Angelou Washington quarter is one of the most fascinating modern coins in circulation today. It is not only a piece of currency but also a symbol of history, culture, and progress. This quarter is a part of the American Women Quarters program, which honors significant women who have left a lasting impact on the country. But did you know that some of these quarters have sold for astonishing amounts of money? In this video, we will explore the remarkable story behind the Maya Angelou quarter, including its design, minting details, errors, collector appeal, and most importantly, its surprising value in the world of numismatics. In 2022, the United States Mint introduced the American Women Quarters Program, a 4-year series celebrating influential women in U.S. history. The very first coin in this program honored none other than Maya Angelou, an iconic poet, author, and civil rights activist whose work inspired generations. Angelou became the first black woman to be featured on a U.S. quarter, making this coin a landmark piece in American numismatic history. The obverse, or front, of the Maya Angelou quarter retains the familiar image of George Washington. However, instead of the classic design by John Flanagan, this version features a brand new portrait created by Laura Garden Fraser. This design actually dates back to 1932, when Fraser originally proposed it for the Washington quarter. At the time, it was not chosen, but in 2022, it was finally given its place on U.S. currency, bringing Fraser's artistic vision to life. The obverse also includes the inscriptions, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the year 2022. The reverse, or back, of the coin is what truly makes it special. It features a striking image of Maya Angelou, depicted with her arms uplifted in a powerful pose. Behind her, a bird in flight and rays of sunlight symbolize her uplifting literary works and the freedom she expressed in her poetry and activism. This design was created by artist Emily Damstra and sculpted by Craig Campbell. Above Angelou's image, her name, Maya Angelou, is inscribed, along with United States of America, and the denomination, $quarter. The powerful imagery on this coin is a tribute to Angelou's famous autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which speaks of resilience, strength, and the fight for justice. Like most modern quarters, the Maya Angelou quarter was minted at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, P. Mintmark, Denver, D. Mintmark, and San Francisco, S. Mintmark. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced quarters for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint struck special proof and silver-proof versions for collectors. While millions of these coins were produced, there are certain varieties and minting errors that make some of them extremely valuable. One of the most sought-after errors found on the Maya Angelou quarter is the double die variety. This occurs when the design elements are struck twice at slightly different angles, creating a doubling effect. If you find a Maya Angelou quarter with clear doubling on the inscriptions or design, it could be worth significantly more than face value. Another rare and valuable variety is the off-center strike. This error happens when the coin blank is misaligned in the press, causing the design to be struck off-center. Depending on how severe the misalignment is, these error coins can fetch high prices among collectors. Additionally, coins with a missing clad layer, where the outer nickel layer is absent, exposing the inner copper core, are highly sought after. These errors are rare and can make a coin stand out as a unique collectible. Beyond errors, the overall condition of the coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. Coins that have been in circulation often show signs of wear and tear, but those that have been preserved in high mint state grades, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can command premium prices. Proof versions, particularly those struck in silver, also tend to be highly desirable among collectors. Even though the Maya Angelou quarter is a relatively new release, its significance in U.S. history makes it a valuable addition to any collection. The coin serves as a reminder of Angelou's enduring legacy and the progress the country has made in honoring diverse historical figures. And while most of these quarters may still be worth only 25 cents in everyday transactions, some rare and high-quality examples have already sold for remarkable prices. In one stunning auction, a pristine Maya Angelou quarter, featuring a rare minting error, was sold for an incredible $10,000. Top 3. The 2006 Nebraska-Washington quarter is one of the most visually stunning coins in the 50-state quarters program. A true piece of American history, this quarter not only represents the state's rich past but also holds significant value for collectors. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story behind this coin, its history, design, minting details, collector demand, and of course, the incredible value that some rare specimens have reached in auctions. The 50-state quarters program, launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999, was one of the most popular numismatic initiatives in American history. Each state received a unique design on the reverse side of the quarter, celebrating its heritage and identity. Nebraska's turn came in 2006, and the chosen design perfectly captured the spirit of the state. The obverse, or front, of the Nebraska quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. This familiar image has graced the Washington quarter for decades, making it one of the most recognizable pieces of U.S. currency. Surrounding Washington's bust are the inscriptions, "United States of America, Liberty, in God We Trust," and $quarter. The small mint mark, either PD or S, indicates where the coin was struck: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Now, let's turn to the real highlight, the reverse side of the Nebraska quarter. This coin showcases an iconic scene from the state's history, the Chimney Rock Monument, a famous landmark that served as a guidepost for pioneers traveling westward on the Oregon Trail. Above the towering rock formation, a covered wagon is depicted moving toward the horizon, symbolizing the perseverance and adventurous spirit of the early settlers. The sky in the background adds depth and movement to the design, making it one of the most dynamic images in the entire 50-state quarter series. The inscriptions on the reverse include Nebraska 1867, marking the year Nebraska joined the Union, as well as 2006, indicating the minting year of the quarter. The state motto, "The Good Life," is not present on the coin, but the imagery itself tells the story of Nebraska's historical significance in westward expansion. Like all state quarters, the Nebraska quarter was minted at different facilities across the country. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced circulation strikes, while the San Francisco mint struck proof versions, including both clad and silver proofs. In total, millions of Nebraska quarters were produced, but not all of them are equal in value. Some rare varieties and error coins have made collectors willing to pay thousands of dollars for a single quarter point. One of the most sought-after errors in the Nebraska quarter series is the double die variety. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain features. If you come across a Nebraska quarter where the words or images appear doubled, it could be worth far more than its face value. Another valuable error type is the off-center strike, which happens when the coin blank is misaligned during minting. The result is a design that appears shifted or incomplete, making these coins highly collectible. The more severe the misalignment, the higher the potential value. Additionally, some Nebraska quarters have been found with missing clad layers. Since quarters are made of a copper core with a nickel coating, an error in the minting process can sometimes cause the outer layer to be absent. This exposes the copper underneath, giving the coin a distinct appearance and increasing its rarity. Apart from errors, coin condition plays a crucial role in determining value. Coins that have been in circulation often show signs of wear, which reduces their worth. However, Nebraska quarters that have been preserved in near-perfect condition, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, can command impressive prices at auctions. Proof versions, particularly silver proofs, are also highly desirable among collectors. The Nebraska quarter's design and historical significance make it a must-have for state quarter enthusiasts. It tells a powerful story of the pioneer spirit, and the challenges faced by those who traveled west in search of a better life. This connection to American history adds to the coin's appeal, ensuring that high-quality examples remain in demand for years to come. While most Nebraska quarters remain in everyday circulation, some rare versions with errors or exceptional conditions have fetched surprising prices. In a recent auction, an extraordinary Nebraska quarter, featuring a rare minting anomaly, was sold for an astonishing $26,000. Top 4. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency for nearly a century, but not all quarters are created equal. Some, due to rare minting errors, low production numbers, or pristine condition, have skyrocketed in value over the years. Among these, the 1981 Washington quarter stands out as a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Today, we'll explore the fascinating story behind this coin, its history, design, minting details, collector demand, and of course, its incredible value. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the quarter quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of U.S. currency. The design remained largely unchanged for decades, making the 1981 quarter part of a long and rich numismatic tradition. On the obverse, or front, of the 1981 Washington quarter, you'll find the iconic portrait of George Washington. His strong and dignified profile, facing left, is surrounded by the inscriptions, Liberty, above, and In God We Trust, to the left. The year, 1981, is prominently displayed at the bottom. Depending on the mint where it was produced, you may see a small mint mark, either a P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. The reverse side of the 1981 quarter features a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in its talons. Below the eagle, an olive branch is visible, symbolizing both military strength and a desire for peace. The inscriptions, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum, arc above the eagle, while quarter dollar is written along the bottom. This design remained the standard until the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. Despite its familiar design, the 1981 Washington quarter holds special significance in the numismatic world due to several factors. The first and most obvious reason is its place in history. This was one of the final years before the U.S. Mint switched to a different mintmark placement style in 1985. But beyond that, the real value of the 1981 quarter lies in its rarity, particularly in high grades and with certain errors. The U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters in 1981, but not all of them were struck to the same quality standards. Coins from the Philadelphia and Denver mints were intended for general circulation, meaning that most of them experienced heavy wear and tear over the years. Finding an uncirculated 1981 quarter with a flawless surface is extremely rare, making high-grade specimens highly valuable. The San Francisco Mint, on the other hand, produced proof versions of the 1981 quarter. These proof coins were struck with specially polished dies, resulting in a deep mirror-like finish and sharp details. Proof quarters from this year are also collectible, particularly those with cameo or deep cameo finishes. However, what truly drives the value of a 1981 Washington quarter into the thousands is the presence of mint errors. One of the most famous errors in Washington quarters is the doubled die variety. A doubled die error occurs when the coin's design is unintentionally struck twice, creating a slight but noticeable duplication of the lettering or design elements. If you find a 1981 quarter with clear doubling on the inscriptions or Washington's profile, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in an image that appears shifted. The more dramatic the misalignment, the rarer and more valuable the coin. Some off-center quarters from 1981 have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors also seek out quarters with missing clad layers. Because modern quarters are made from a copper core with a nickel coating, an error in the minting process can sometimes cause the outer layer to be absent. These coins have a distinctive reddish appearance, and are highly prized by numismatists. Aside from errors, the condition of the coin plays a major role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS, mint state, 70 being a perfect, flawless specimen. While most circulated 1981 quarters are worth only their face value, an uncirculated coin graded MS 67 or higher can fetch a significant price at auction. The Washington Quarter series is beloved by collectors due to its long history and classic design. While many quarters from the 1980s remain common in circulation, rare errors and pristine condition examples can command astonishing prices. If you happen to come across a 1981 Washington Quarter in exceptional condition, or one with a rare error, it could be worth far more than just 25 cents. In a recent auction, an extremely rare and high-grade specimen of the 1981 Washington Quarter was sold for an unbelievable $67,000. Top 5. The Washington Quarter has been a vital part of American currency since its introduction in 1932, and while many quarters seem ordinary, some hold incredible value due to rarity, errors, or pristine condition. Among these, the 1982 Washington Quarter stands out as a coin that has caught the attention of collectors and investors alike. Whether it's a rare minting anomaly or a perfectly preserved specimen, this quarter can be worth far more than just pocket change. The history of the Washington Quarter is deeply tied to the celebration of America's first president. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin was originally intended as a one-year commemorative piece, but it became so popular that it was permanently adopted. The design remained largely unchanged for decades, making the 1982 quarter part of a long numismatic legacy. On the obverse, or front, of the 1982 quarter, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington. His profile faces left, a strong and dignified depiction that has graced American currency for decades. Above his head, the word, Liberty, is inscribed, while, In God We Trust, is positioned to the left. The year, 1982, is at the bottom, and a mint mark, either a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver, may be visible to the right of Washington's ponytail. Notably, this was the first year the Philadelphia Mint included a P mint mark on Washington quarters, adding an extra layer of significance for collectors. On the reverse, the quarter features a striking image of a bald eagle with its wings spread wide. In its talons, the eagle clutches a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military readiness, while an olive branch below represents peace. The inscriptions, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum, arc above the eagle, while quarter dollar is written along the bottom. This classic design remained the standard until the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. At first glance, the 1982 Washington Quarter may seem like just another coin from everyday transactions. However, for collectors, this particular year is incredibly significant. The 1982 quarter is sought after for multiple reasons, including its unique place in minting history, its condition rarity, and the presence of valuable errors. One of the most notable aspects of 1982 quarters is the absence of U.S. Mint uncirculated sets for this year. Typically, the Mint releases sets of freshly struck coins for collectors, but in 1982 and 1983, these sets were not produced. As a result, most quarters from these years were released directly into circulation, making high-grade specimens extremely rare. Finding a 1982 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is difficult, which significantly drives up its value. Another major factor that determines the worth of a 1982 quarter is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS, mint state, 70 being a flawless, perfect coin. Most 1982 quarters found in circulation show signs of heavy wear, but those preserved in MS 65 or higher can fetch high prices at auctions. Aside from condition, error coins from 1982 are among the most valuable. One of the most sought-after errors in Washington quarters is the doubled die variety. A doubled die error occurs when the coin's design is unintentionally struck twice, causing a slight but noticeable duplication in the lettering or other design elements. If you come across a 1982 quarter with clear doubling on the inscriptions or Washington's profile, you could be holding an extremely valuable coin. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in an image that appears shifted. Some off-center quarters from 1982, especially those with a significant misalignment, have sold for thousands of dollars. Missing clad layers are another rare and valuable error in Washington quarters. Since modern quarters are made from a copper core with a nickel coating, an error in the minting process can sometimes cause the outer layer to be absent. These coins appear reddish due to the exposed copper and are highly prized by collectors. While standard 1982 quarters in circulated condition may only be worth their face value, those with rare errors or in high grades can command impressive prices at auction. If you happen to find a 1982 quarter in exceptional condition or with a rare minting anomaly, it could be worth far more than just 25 cents. In a recent auction, an extremely rare and high-grade specimen of the 1982 Washington quarter was sold for an astonishing $63,000. Top 6. The Washington quarter has been an iconic part of American coinage since 1932, and while millions of these coins have circulated over the decades, certain years hold hidden treasures that collectors eagerly seek. Among them, the 1986 Washington quarter stands out as a coin that could be worth far more than its face value under the right conditions. What makes this quarter so special? Could you have one in your pocket or coin collection without even realizing its potential value? Let's dive into the fascinating details of the 1986 Washington quarter, exploring its design, historical significance, rare errors, and what makes certain specimens incredibly valuable. The Washington quarter was originally introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the quarter's obverse features a striking left-facing portrait of the first U.S. president. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty, while In God We Trust is inscribed just to the left. Below his portrait, the year 1986 is displayed, marking the year of minting. The reverse of the coin features a proud bald eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows. Just below the eagle lies an olive branch, symbolizing America's desire for peace while maintaining its strength and readiness for defense. The inscriptions, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum, arch above, while quarter dollar is engraved along the bottom edge. This design remained a staple of American coinage until the 50-state quarters program began in 1999. The 1986 Washington quarter was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint quarters are marked with a P. The Denver mint quarters bear a D, and the San Francisco mint produced proof coins marked with an S. While all 3 varieties are collectible, the rarest and most valuable 1986 quarters tend to be those in pristine condition or with rare minting errors. The true value of a 1986 quarter depends on its condition and any potential minting errors. Most quarters from this year were heavily circulated, meaning they show signs of wear. However, those preserved in mint state condition, graded MS65 or higher, are considerably more valuable. Collectors pay premium prices for coins that have never been in circulation, with sharp details, full luster, and no signs of damage. One of the biggest reasons why the 1986 quarter has gained attention among collectors is the presence of rare mint errors. Some of these errors include: one of the most famous and valuable errors is the double die variety. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice slightly off alignment, causing noticeable doubling in the inscriptions or elements of the portrait. A 1986 quarter with a strong double die error can sell for thousands of dollars. Sometimes, a quarter is struck on a blank intended for another coin, such as a nickel or even a foreign denomination. These off-metal strikes are incredibly rare, making them highly desirable for collectors. Some 1986 quarters feature missing clad layers, which means the outer nickel coating did not adhere properly, exposing the copper core beneath. This gives the coin a distinct two-tone or entirely copper-colored appearance, making it a rare and valuable find. A misaligned or off-center strike happens when the coin blank is not positioned correctly during the striking process. If the misalignment is significant but still shows a date, the value can be substantial. while a standard 1986 Washington quarter in circulated condition is only worth face value, high-grade and rare era versions can command impressive prices. Collectors and numismatists are willing to pay top dollar for well-preserved specimens with unique attributes. At a recent auction, a rare, high-grade 1986 Washington quarter was sold for an astounding $57,000. Top 7. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in American history, a staple of pocket change for generations. But what if I told you that a single 1990 Washington quarter could be worth an absolute fortune? That's right. While millions of these coins were minted, a rare few hold secrets that make them incredibly valuable. Could you be holding one of these treasures without even knowing it? Let's dive deep into the history, design, minting details, and collector value of the 1990 Washington quarter, and uncover what makes certain versions of this coin so special. The Washington quarter has been a key part of U.S. currency since 1932, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The coin's design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, has remained largely unchanged for decades, solidifying its place in American numismatic history. On the obverse of the 1990 quarter, you'll find the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington. The word "Liberty" is boldly inscribed above his head, while "In God We Trust" appears just to the left. Below Washington's portrait, you'll see the year 1990, marking the date of minting. The design is simple yet powerful, a tribute to the first president of the United States. The reverse of the coin showcases a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread wide. Clutched in its talons is a bundle of arrows, symbolizing the nation's strength and readiness to defend itself. Below the eagle is an olive branch, representing America's desire for peace. The inscriptions, "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" are displayed above, while $quarter is engraved at the bottom. This design was used until 1998, just before the introduction of the 50-state quarters program. The 1990 Washington quarter was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia quarters are marked with a P. The Denver quarters have a D, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions with an S mint mark. While standard circulated versions may only be worth face value, some rare varieties and high-grade specimens are worth significantly more. A coin's value is largely determined by its condition. While the majority of 1990 quarters have been heavily circulated, some have been preserved in near-perfect condition, known as mint state, MS. Coins graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services can command substantial prices. Additionally, proof versions of the 1990 quarter, especially those with deep cameo contrast, are highly sought after by collectors. Beyond condition, one of the biggest factors that can make a 1990 Washington quarter extremely valuable is the presence of minting errors. Let's explore some of the rare errors that could turn an ordinary quarter into a small fortune. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling effect on inscriptions or design elements. If you find a 1990 quarter with strong doubling in areas like the date or the word "Liberty," you could be looking at a valuable rarity. Some quarters are mistakenly struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as a nickel or even a foreign coin blank. These errors are incredibly rare and can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Occasionally, a quarter may be struck with its outer nickel layer partially or entirely missing, exposing the copper core beneath. This creates a distinct appearance and can significantly increase the coin's value. An off-center strike happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during minting. If the misalignment is extreme but still shows the date, it becomes highly desirable to collectors. While most 1990 Washington quarters are only worth face value, a rare high-grade specimen or one with an extraordinary minting error can fetch an incredible price. These coins are often discovered in old collections, rolls of quarters, or even in everyday pocket change. At a recent auction, a rare, high-grade 1990 Washington quarter was sold for an astonishing $55,000.